Love should be easy. Why should it not? When all you want is to be loved, is to be loved. But love ain't easy. You taught me that. I let you in, now you want out, now you want out. I don't understand why you hurt me.
Hey everybody, welcome. It is a day. It is September 12th for me, but in the United States, it is September 11th, which means it's probably time for me to show my camera. It's a sad day in America, remembering, I believe it's 22 years ago, 9/11, where on that particular day, I was with my wife in our house, sitting on the couch, and my wife had all of her luggage laid out. She had a ticket to Japan that morning. And I got a call from my Japanese friend, Mr. Mori. And he said, "Are you watching the news?" I was like, "No, we're just sitting here kind of saying our goodbyes," because she was going to be gone for about a month and a half or so. And her flight got canceled. So we just sat there watching the towers burn. And I remember when I first heard that the tower fell, I thought that can't be what happened. They're obviously like mistaking how would a tower fall. It was really sobering. And I remember, you know, for as anti-war as I am, I was ready to go to war. I was like, let's go fight whoever this is. I'm ready to battle. It was a battle cry for me. But that was my 9/11, and I only really realized that it was 9/11 today because of all the news articles I saw and people remembering what they did on 9/11. But yeah, I was sitting on a couch with my wife right before she flew to Japan, and that got canceled. I think she ended up going like a week later, because I don't know if some of you guys might not have even been here. There's a lot of young people learning Japanese now, but you know, the whole world stopped. The airlines weren't flying for 3 days. We shut down all air traffic in America for 3 days. So it was pretty crazy. Hey Tim, Tokyo's missing George. Well, you know, I'm missing Tokyo. I'm in a pretty good location. As you can see, it's beautiful. I did take a tour of it with my little camera, which I'll eventually in a million years release on Adventures in Asia, maybe. But yeah, it's a really nice place. I'm very happy with it. And I just would never stay here again, though, because of the location. But all right, so I do want to talk about just a fun little amusing story about so far the dumbest thing I've done this trip. The dumbest thing that I did in Korea wasn't on this trip. It was when I had not yet come to Korea. And I'll tell you what, I'll tell the story. Some of you have heard it. But I was sending out messages on a website called Interpals. Don't go there. It doesn't exist anymore. And if it does, it's horrible. It was already horrible back then. But I had made out a message. And by the way, I typed each one of my messages individually. I wasn't a copy and paster. But I made the same mistake many, many times. And I wrote a message something like this. 저는 조지입니다. 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. 한국어, or was it 한국 사람 친구를 필요해요. 부탁드립니다. And then I signed off Jaji. Now, my name is Joji. So at a minimum, I made a typo. You know, a typo. Should have been Joe, but it was a Ja. That's acceptable. But I got no responses to 16 very carefully chosen, beautiful Korean women. Because, no secret, I'm only learning Korean because I thought the girls were attractive. That's the only reason, okay? I was like, okay, they're just as attractive as Japanese people, and I love to talk to a beautiful girl. So it doesn't bother me that you think that that's creepy, because it's not. It's just it's who I am. I can't change who I am. Sorry. I like Korean girls as much as I like McDonald's. It's a lot. It's quite a lot. So no one responded except one girl named Gayong. She said, "Do you know that Jaji means penis?" And I did indeed not know this fact, that I said, "Hello, my name is Penis. I'm studying Korean and I would like a Korean friend. And then signed off, penis. Very sad. Very sad moment for me when I realized that. But Gao Yong is today still my best friend in Korea. I'm literally meeting her first tomorrow. Tomorrow night in the evening. I haven't met any of my Korean friends yet. And when I first came to Korea, like in I'm gonna say 2012, she met me at the airport and helped me get a Chiachol card or like a T-Money card so I could ride the subway. She took me all the way to Shinsadong, which is where it's great because she lives like right by there in Gangnam. She lives in Gangnam. She's a Gangnam girl, and she took me right there to Shinsa. She helped me find my apartment, and then I think it was like the next day or the day after that, she took me to the Olay place and helped me get data for my phone in Korea because I didn't have a good plan yet from America. Like, she has been just clutch as a friend. And then she brought me like chocolate on Valentine's Day because I think they do it the same here where girls give chocolate. That was just really nice. It was like homemade chocolate. By the way, the homemade chocolate just means they melt like a Hershey's and then reformulate it into their own shape. It was funny. And I think I was still here and I gave her something on March 14th. But man, over these years with that one mistake, led to, me calling Gao Yong at like 1 a.m. What are you doing? Let's go get blueberry drinks over at, what's the name of that place? Oh, I can't remember the name of the place. It's gone now. I mean, everything you like about Korea goes away. Like, it doesn't stay. The stores change out like every year. It's crazy. I can't even remember the name of the place anymore. That's kind of sad. It was like some Hawaiian themed place, but they had these blueberry like shakes, which were just fantastic. And she's like, yeah, I can go. Or some nights she'd be like, no, my dad won't let me. I'm like, you're 30. Your dad should let you go. Anyway, when I told her I was planning on coming, she said, definitely we're gonna hang out. I said, yeah, but you're married now. Don't you think like your husband would be upset? She's like, I don't care. You're my friend. You've been my friend for this long. You're a super important friend, which made me feel really happy. And even today, when I texted her, say, hey, I'm in Korea, she's like, oh my God, we have to meet. Like, so she's just good friend. Last time I was here 3 years ago, we went to like a Holly's Cafe because it was the beginning of Corona. So everyone was kind of cautious. They were starting to be cautious, And we went to the Holly Cafe and I think we were there for like 4 hours, like talking, telling stories, multiple coffees, just doing Snapchat. We were doing Snapchat filters. I've shown those pictures before. They're some of my favorite Korean friend photos. What's good about them is it really looks like we're dating. I love it. Like, it's my fake Korean girlfriend, It's kind of nice. But yeah, I generally am very, like, if you ask me, like, what's one thing that made Korean worth it? That's one thing. But I have other friends. I have a friend named Mi-gyong. I have Ji-yoon, the girl that helped write Korean from Zero Book 2 and 3 and even parts of 1 initially. No, she helped after the fact. I got a guy friend. I don't know his real name. It's Mantheon. I don't know what his real name is, but he's a super cool guy. And I think I've told this story before, but whatever. You probably haven't heard it because you don't watch these streams. But I met him, I think, in the first trip. And I was at this Korean comic convention looking for artists to do artwork for the Korean from Zero book. And he was the friend of the artist that we found. And so every time I would come back, I would hang out with him at least once and go to that Comic Korea thing because it seemed to be like a weekly thing. I'm not sure if I was always here at the right time or it was just every week. And one time I met him at Shinbundang and I got him lunch at Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like that. And before we go to the place, he went and got a drink. And then he asked for a ketchup packet. He got ice in the cup. Then he opened up the packet a little bit, stuck it in the middle of the ice, and then carefully maneuvered. Actually, he put the straw in the packet and then maneuvered the lid on top of it and put it in there. And then he filled the cup with Coke, like a small cup. and we're traveling. And I didn't know what he was going to do, but I was just like, oh my God, whatever he's doing, it's going to be hilarious. But the whole time I'm like, aren't you thirsty? You know, we're just having like that kind of a fun. And then we get there. He's holding this drink for like 30 minutes, right? And we get to the booth where he's going. It's like, and his kohai, his hube, I think is what they call it. He's a sombe, right? He's like the senpai. So in Korea, that kohai senpai relationship is, I'm pretty sure, like double the strength of Korea. I mean, of Japan's, like senpai kohai thing. Like they really take that seriously. So he said, "Oh, I bought you a drink," to his kohai, his underling, right? The guy was so happy. He's like, "Thank you so much. I'm so thirsty here." And then he didn't even watch. He turned away and like walked away. I watched, and the guy goes, nothing else was said. Like there was no like, I got you, or oh, you got me, senpai. It was just like, if my memory is correct, I feel like that's how I went down. I might be making it more interesting as I get older. I don't know, as the memory gets older, I should say. But I just remember like he walked away, didn't watch, and then there was no reaction. Just like, okay, this is my life. This is what happens to me as a hube. So, yeah, I have so many fond memories of Korea. Although, I've said this before, I do love Japan, the country, a lot more. But there's something special about Korea. I can never nail it down. I'm thinking, is it just that it's new to me, is what I always end up thinking it is. But it's probably more than that. I don't know what it is. So today, yeah, I've been speaking Korean. I went to my language school where I've been going for, I guess now, you got to kind of X out Corona. If I say I do this every year, of course it doesn't mean during Corona. So there's a 3-year gap. But I was coming to Korea every 6 months, practically. Like twice a year, I was coming here. And I would go to this school in Gangnam. And on the way there, like I was worried it might not exist anymore because so many other things don't exist. Like there was a sushi shop that used to be right there on that first floor. It's gone. Even the entrance of the building, there used to be nothing on the first 4 floors of that building. Now there's like I think it's a skin therapy place or something like that. So I was like, oh my God, it's gone, you know? But everything along the route was like mostly gone, and different things have replaced it. And there used to be a Taco Bell really close by and a Smoothie King next to that. And that's all just like an empty, shelled out building now. So yeah, just times have changed. I don't know how much of that is that normal Korea, or is it, you know, Corona? I think Corona definitely destroyed a lot. Anyway, so I went up into the building and luckily the person remembered me. Oh, Joji. And I said, hey, I'm here for like a month. I need to do classes. And unfortunately, I'm unlucky. There's a lot of holidays happening while I'm here. It's like the Korean version of like Thanksgiving. It's called Chuseok. So they all like abandon town and they don't have classes. So even though I'm here for like a month, I can really only get 14 classes in. So I booked 14 classes, and here's what I'm going to do. My goal this time was I want to strengthen my Korean reading, because you learn a lot from books, right? Like we talked about this with Japanese. It's a thing that I didn't do a lot in Japanese because of kanji, but I don't have that excuse with Korean because I can read all the characters. In Korean, you can, you know, there's 24 vowels and consonants. If you learn those, you can do like 12,000 combinations of Hangul moji, and you can learn, you can read. So I went to the store today to buy a novel. That was my goal. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a time travel type novel or a love story. And I think I flipped a few times until I saw this. 생각하라. 그리고 부자가 되어라. Think and become rich. So I bought 2 of these, and I'm going to be reading this with my teacher, who was very excited when I showed it to her. I think I nailed the book choice because she thought I was going to do like something that she would not want to read, but I think she'll want to read this. So I have class tomorrow at 10. I'll probably try to read a little bit of this before I go to bed. But a little notepad to put some things. These are the last books I'm buying in Korea this time. I don't need books. I already have way too many books. So am I still streaming? There's been like 4 comments. What if I've been silent this whole time? That'd be not hilarious at all. Brian says, 안녕하세요. Burnt Roll says, heyo, BP Parker. Hi. I always say BP Parker. It's B Parker. Melanie says, hey. B Parker says, I was in American history class in high school when it happened, 9/11. Our teacher took everyone to the library to use their TV, and the evil librarians wouldn't let us. We took over another class to watch. Wow. Shimewaza says, you've been streaming normally. No issues. Good. Good. I'm a little bit calm today because my head banging for the intro to the live streams, either the head banging on the intro or on the outro, I definitely went too hardcore, and like this whole back of my neck up to like the mid part of my shoulder blade, like just if I cough, which I do after I eat, I always have like phlegm in my throat, and then when I try to push that out, oh my god, like the pain isn't, I hate it. But I did buy this amazing this mini, so I have a big massage, like a hypervolt massager in America, which I think is the best thing I've ever bought in life. And today, you could change the attachments. Today I realized this is the second best thing I've ever bought. Like, oh my god. Just give me a moment to enjoy. Oh yeah. That's so good. What's great about this is I can bring it with me. I'll never travel without it. I actually brought the Hypervolt one, this big heavy one time. Oh my god, it's just the great. If you want to buy the greatest thing you can buy, I've seen the other massage, like the copycat ones. The Hypervolt, like no matter how hard you push in, it won't stop running. But the other ones, I don't know, they're cheaper, the motor isn't as good, and it'll stop running. This one was $100 in Japan. Not even $100. It was more like $90 maybe. And so far I've used it for like 3 days or 2 days in a row, and the battery hasn't died. And it takes USB-C charging, which is nice. Oh my god. Here, I'm gonna leave that off for a second. All right, give me a second and then I'll answer that Japanese question. Kyle says, the weirdest thing about the towers falling on 9/11 is how it completely collapsed in on itself, like a controlled demolition, as opposed to how a tower would fall if it got hit by an airplane. Yes, I have watched so many documentaries on this, and I agree 100%. It fell at basically free fall speeds, and even the guy that owned the towers at the time, he used the terminology, we decided to pull it. When he was talking about tower number 7, he said, we decided to pull it. That's the terminology that you use for demolition. Go watch Loose Change, I think was the one. I don't know if that's the current big good one, but it definitely brings up some questions how, it seems like thermite was used to take out the beams. So it seems a little bit fishy, right? Very, very fishy. Yes, Kyle, this is indeed a great room. It's got a whole nother room over here, so I don't have to like make this up every time I live stream, which is nice. How much does it cost? Oh, it's actually, well, I guess like it's definitely like super expensive compared to what I was doing in Japan. In Japan, I think I was spending like 50 to max 60 some bucks a night, right? And some nights I would get like $30, $34 a night in that Furukawa area that I went to, that real country area. This one I think was, I'd have to look at it again. It's like $1,000 for the 6 days, so whatever that equals up to. And it's not in a prime location for me. Like, I don't like this location. I can get to where I want to go pretty easily, but it's not cool when I walk outside my apartment. The place I'm going to next is also right around that same pricing. All in all, for the month that I'm going to be here, I think I spent like $4K, which is not good. Like, the prices have definitely went up, but I figured, hey, it's like 4 years of me not traveling or 3 years of me not traveling, so I'll take the hit. I didn't want to spend that money, to be fair, but I kind of already committed with my airplane ticket, So I was like, oh, well, now I got to get a place, and I'm not gonna come here and not do it right. And the other thing that's a little bit awkward is today when I paid for the classes, for 16 classes, I paid 756,000 won, which means, my God, those classes are expensive for 1 hour. Like, they're private classes. I don't know if they're more expensive than before, but man, that's a lot of money per class. I haven't done the math yet. Someone tell me what 756,000 Korean won is in dollars, and then divide it by 14 if you don't mind, while I massage this back. And before I talk about wanga, which is always a tricky topic. Oh, God. Yeah, I can't be doing that head banging anymore. All right. Okay. Okay. George, oh my God. How much does using wa versus ga influence where iru aru is interpreted as X exists versus I have X? I think 0. I think it's the situation that makes it I have or it exists. I don't think wa or ga has any effect. The wa and ga is really doing like emphasizing and stuff like that. It's not affecting it, I don't think. Okane ga arimasu ka? Do you have a girlfriend? Or sorry, do you have money? Oops. Okane ga arimasu ka? I was thinking girlfriend in my head. Okane ga arimasu ka? Do you have money? But that would never mean, even if I said okane wa arimasu ka, it wouldn't make it like, does money exist, right? Kyle says, none. That's his answer. I have and it exists are technically the same meaning. Context changes it. Good answer. You guys, do I really need to even be here anymore? Like between Kyle and Shimewaza, the answers get answered, guys. I don't need to be here. Luckner89. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Welcome to Japanese Daily, where we answer your questions in Japanese as if I'm a man on the back of the bus that seems to know a lot about Japanese. If I mess up the answer, I will have I'm sure someone else like Kyle or Shimewaza or someone in the comments will correct it. So there. I have a question. In your last Japan story video, the guy says owari when he ended his order, and he said maybe that was not correct. Which word should have been used there? Let's look at that, and then I'll explain why I did what I did with that. Give me a second. Let me go to that. Just so that everyone knows what we're talking about. Hang on, I just saw a Yes Japan link. No, it doesn't redirect. Oh my God, why doesn't that redirect? Hang on. Give me a second. I'm just gonna send this off to Colton before I forget. So I thought for sure Yes Japan should already be completely redirecting. I thought Yes Japan was now completely redirecting. Is a date set for this? If not, all right. I think there's a date set for it probably. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to find YouTube. There we go. Okay. So, that is the donut story one, right? My first 3 days in Japan have been interesting to say the least. I start my fourth one being jolted awake from a nightmare, which, since I have them often, I learned is akumu in Japanese. I have nightmares for 2 reasons. One is when I'm learning something new that requires a lot of brain energy, and the other is when I'm under stress. I'm not sure if this last nightmare is because of all the Japanese I'm learning, or the very scary man that might be my stalker that I met on the way to the vegetable store yesterday. I've decided rain and wind won't stop me from eating breakfast at Misty Donuts, or as the Japanese call it, Misudo. It turns out Japanese people love to shorten things. The only problem with my plan is I probably won't be able to avoid the old man on the cardboard box, because Misty Donuts is literally 3 meters from where I saw him. I slapped some water on my head to fix my bed hair, and then wait a second, let me try to remember how to say brushed my teeth. Ha is teeth, and mikaku is to brush. I just went through the verb conjugation lesson in Japanese from Zero Book 1, so I think based on that, ha o migakimashita, I brushed my teeth. The rain, which is ame in Japanese, let up just a little bit, but it was still drizzling. I do remember that drizzle is kosame, which is cute because it means small rain if you break down the kanji of the word. A heavy rain in Japanese is called oame, which is literally big plus rain when written in kanji. Interesting, right? Once outside, I did my best to stay dry by hopping from store awnings to bus stops back to store awnings. As I got close to Misty Donuts, I was also getting close to where the old man was. My fear grew, but so was the growling in my onaka, which means stomach. I was careful to keep my eye out for the old man, but I didn't see him. Upon entering the store, the staff screamed, "Irashaimase!" And as if on cue, the rain picked up and lightning shot across the sky. There were two people ahead of me, which would give me an opportunity to watch and learn from them ordering donuts in Japanese. The donuts were behind glass, and you pointed to each donut and told the staff how many you wanted. It would be easier if I could just grab them myself, but that didn't seem to be an option. The first lady ordered 3 French crullers. She said, "Furenchi cruller o 3つください." I flashed back to the counting lesson in Japanese from Zero. Depending on the shape of an item, you count them differently in Japanese. She was using the generic counter, which the book said you can use for almost anything, and that's exactly what I planned on doing. It took me forever to remember hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu, yotsu. The next person in line was a businessman. He pointed to something called a fruit stick, or furutsu stick in Japanized English. The fruit sticks were long and round. I anticipated he would use the long cylindrical item counter, which would be something like ippon, nihon, sanbon, yonhon. It turns out I predicted correctly. He said, "Furutsu stick o 1本 kudasai." Next, he pointed to the small round donuts, which seemed to be called donatsu poppu, and said, "Donatsu poppu o 5個 kudasai." This guy was good, I thought. Of course he's good, he's Japanese. I know it's probably weird to say I have a favorite way to count things in Japanese, but the non-ko counter is so good because it's generic as well as easy. You can just say 1個、2個、3個、4個. And there aren't any weird variations like the other ones. I decided I would get 1 donut for each of the 4 counters I had learned. I did have one problem though. I didn't see any flat donuts to use the flat nanmai counter. Finally, it was my turn. I almost choked as the man behind the counter said, "どうなさいますか?" I pointed to the chocolate donut pops and said, "Donatsu poppu o 1個 kudasai." He repeated it back. "Hai, donatsu poppu o 1つ." Okay, so he's responding using the ikutsu counter. Interesting. Next, I pointed to a long, cylindrical eclair with strawberries on top and said in my best-sounding Japanese English, "Strawberry eclair o 3本 kudasai." Dang it. I meant to say ippon for 1, but accidentally ordered 3. As he placed the first one on the tray, he said, "Ichigo eclair o 3つですね." I considered eating 3, but I decided to fix my mistake and said, "Sumimasen, 1本だけです." I surprised even myself. How did I remember that dake means only? He said, "Hai, kashikomarimashita," and put the second eclair back in the display. Since none of the donuts were flat, I decided to use the generic counter next. Unfortunately, with my 0 katakana skills, I had no idea how to read the name of the donut I was looking at. So I pointed to it and asked what it was. これは日本語で何ですか? エンゼルクリームです. I said thank you, then ordered 2. エンゼルクリームを2つください. He repeated my order back, and I was done with my orders, so I said, 終わり, which means end. But I don't think that's how you're supposed to say that's all, because he followed up with, 以上でよろしいですか? I have zero idea what it meant. All right. So that's where that comes up. So he says, wadi, and then the guy says, 以上でよろしいですか? And that's the hint. You say, 以上です. That's all. 以上です. We had to watch all of that, guys, to get to that point. All right? And I'll let you watch the rest. in your free time. I'm gonna figure out how to get my camera back on. There we go. All right. Hitting buttons here. So, I'll tell you what I'm doing though in that series. I'm purposely having him make the mistakes. Owari means end, but it's not what you would say. You would say "ijo desu." That's all. Okay. I also am not translating everything. So when the guy says, "Hai, kashikomarimashita," I purposely don't tell you what that means. Situationally, you might be able to figure it out. And even the "ijo de yoroshii desu ka," you might be able to figure that out. Yes, ACL 3920. If you are invested, go watch the 4 episodes that are up on Japanese from Zero, and also subscribe to the channel that I've made for it, which is, give me a second, I'll give it to you. Where is it? It's a very important project for me. There's only 282 people subscribed to this channel. Why can't I get to it? Here we go, hang on. My channel. I think it's just at Japan Storytime, but they can get there with that, I think this will do it right here. All right. Let me go back up to where we were doing questions here. All right. So yeah, ijo desu. Oh, and look, B. Parker told him right there. Good job. I didn't even see that. Good job. Thoughts on Baby Metal? Overrated. I mean, they're not babies anymore for sure, right? And I don't listen to them. The only one I remember is Neko Punch, which I can't do right now because of my neck. Kyle says, Neko ga iru can mean there is a cat or I have a cat. Yes. Rocker913 says, hey, George, I just found your Guitar Vader interview. Oh my God. So cringy. I love Guitar Vader, so I'm glad I found that video. Yes, I actually also produced their very first video. Actually, I produced, I think, every Guitar Vader video. Every single one. I don't think there's one that I haven't produced. They were in a game called Jet Set Radio, and that's how they got popular. And then Steve, my friend Steve, was a student in my class, and we became friends, and we would be like in the car after class, and he would play music for me. And then one day he's like, you know what, man? We should sell Japanese music. I'm like, dude, sounds cool. Came up with a name, Japan Files. I flew to Japan, or one of my trips, I was just happened to be there, and he said, okay, go see Guitar Vader. I found out where they were going. I went to the club, the live house where they were. I had never been to a live house, and Ujuan was there. Ujuan and Miki are the two people that are part of Guitar Vader. And I said, is it okay if I film? And like, yeah, fine. And then if it's okay, I'll, let me talk to you later. It's like, okay. So I filmed. It was fantastic. And I said, yeah, we're starting this website where we sell MP3 music, japanfiles.com. Do you want to be on it? He's like, yeah. Signed right there. Signed my little contract without even reading it. He's like, yeah, sure. Totally. That was the beginning of Japan Files. We did that for like 4 years. Eventually we were signed with a couple of the major labels. We had like Morning Musume, all of the Morning Musume, like Hello Project groups. We were signed with Lark Shangel's label for their band Girugamesh. We had talked with Gak's label. Didn't get it. I'm happy I didn't get it because that was a interesting experience. We had LMC. We brought a lot of groups to the anime conventions. We released like 25 CD albums. It was like a fun time of my life. It didn't work financially, but man, was it fun. Music's a really hard business. And Guitar Vader was part of it was part of our DVD. There was a Guitar Vader video on that DVD, the Yes Japan DVD, and an Easter egg. I can't show it to you because I'm not in America right now. I don't have access to my network attached storage where I have all of those files, but remind me in about a month if you're here, Rocker913, and I'll play those for you on stream. Baratna in space says, I was looking into Japanese language school. and the average seems to be 8 to 10K a year for tuition. That doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad. But also keep in mind that that's with other people, right? So I'm doing like an independent class, and they said that there's no class that you're qualified for right now. I've already went through all of their main classes now, up through level 6, and they have a class for level 7, but it was on Saturdays, and I feel like I don't want to do school on Saturdays. Ooh, okay. Shimewaza-san says, in addition to 以上です, you can also say, とりあえずそれでお願いします. Oh, yeah, I mean, I feel like I might have said that in the past, but now when I'm reading it, it seems like, yeah, for the meantime, I'm good. It just seems weird to me. I don't know. It's not, though. とりあえず, but it seems a little bit too casual in that particular interaction. I don't know. I'd have to have a Japanese person weigh in on that. B. Parker says, これは pen. This is a pen. And then これが pen. This is a pen. Okay, a lot of teaching going back and forth. That's good. As a community, it's good. Just remember, take everyone's Japanese knowledge into your head, keep it there, and know that they could be wrong. Okay. Rocker913 says, also, I know you're a Showa era idol fan. Do you like Akina Nakamori or Chisato Moritaka? It's weird seeing their name that way. Yes, Nakamori Akina and Moritaka Chisato. During that era, it was Asaka Yui was number 1 for me. Asaka Yui, Kudo Shizuka, Koizumi Kyoko, Nakamori Akina, definitely 100%. Some of the older groups like that I bought after they were already disbanded that had Shizuka in them were like Onyanko Club. I'm forgetting a big one. Not Onyanko. No, Onyanko Club was the one I was thinking. No, it was Ushirogami Hikaretai was the one I was thinking I was saying. And the one I thought I forgot was Onyanko Club. But it was Onyanko Club was like the AKB 47 or 48 of their era. It's actually the same Akimoto guy that made them. And then they split those off into subgroups. And one of them was Ushirogami Hikaretai. And I think it was Kudo Shizuka. I want to say somebody Minato or something like Minami or something like that. I don't remember who was in there. And maybe Kudo Yuki. I don't remember. But I liked those very solid. But about 3 or 4 months ago, I binged hard on Nakamori Akina. I actually have a playlist. I have a Nakamori Akina playlist that I made on the Japanese from Zero channel. Let me see if I can. And it's public. I left it public. And I think someone warned me, hey man, you have this music list public. Like I'm like, no, keep it public. I want it to be public. I'm going to share it with you guys right now. Unless I hit it from that point. Man, I have a lot of playlists. Let's see. Maybe it's not there anymore. Oh, there it is. I have 10 videos on here. Of course, I can't show them to you. But here is my... Nakamori Akina is so amazing as an idol. I love her. When she sings Nampasen, she cries legitimately. And that's the song that I always will sing in karaoke. Always. It's one of my go-tos. Berat9 Space says, I remember Colton from your adventures in Asia videos. Yep. Colton at that time was not working for us. Now he's super duper working for us. He's uber important. Shimewaza says, why can't you just say Mr. Donuts? I noticed the same thing in Japanese dramas. They change the names of companies and services like Google slightly. It's all about trademark and copyright, 100%. You can't just, look, they might be okay with it, but what if you make commitments in your production? You know, you have the actors say the lines, you know, you have their logo on your shirt, whatever you do, and then they say no. It's hard to redo that sort of thing. So in order to take all the risk out of them not liking your production, because what if don't like what you did with their, maybe you have someone has a Google shirt on and they kill somebody in that drama. They wouldn't want that. Or a woman, works at Mr. Donuts, but she's, cheating on her husband, or, just, punching children in the face. Like, they don't want that to represent their brand. So they protect that very harshly. So in order to avoid that, you just don't use their name. You make parodies of their name. That's what you do. One thing I learned, and this might ruin things for you. This might be a spoiler for all TV shows. Ready? The bad guy can never use an iPhone. Did you know that? If you want to use an actual Apple logo in your production, it can't be the bad guy. If you know that and you see it, you're like, oh, okay. I'm sure someone else will be like, actually,
did you know that this one independent movie had an iPhone and the guy killed 14 people?
Shimewaza says, is it because they are afraid of the company complaining or even being sued? Yes, it's both. Baratna in Space says, I thought they did the same with American films and TV shows. They do, and they also blur out t-shirts. If you have a design on your shirt, they blur it out. They painstakingly blur that out because that's someone else's design, and they could sue you for copyright infringement without permission to air that. Like, I don't know if you know this, I own 3. Yeah, I think I have 3 or 4 trademarks. I have Japanese from Zero. You can't use something from Zero in an educational sense without infringing on our trademark. Please don't send me the links. I've seen them. I already know they exist. We also have Taking You from Zero to Fluent. We bought that one from another company. There was a company that had Taking You from Zero to Fluent, and they got that trademark in 2018, and it was holding us up from getting approved finally for just From Zero, because someone has a similar trademark, and I'm like, wait, but we've had Japanese From Zero, the original, for 10 years now. How did they get something with From Zero in there if we were? But no matter how you complain, they can't overrule what some other examiner has stated. So we approached the owner of that trademark. She had a little company, and we just bought her out. We just bought her entire company. It was a dream of mine to buy out a company, and I did. It was a tiny company. I wish I could have went with a bigger thing, but I still got time in my life. All right.
For how long?
I don't know. It might maybe a year, maybe 5 years.
For how long?
Again, life is complicated. I could die tomorrow.
For how long?
Wow, you're really pushing. Let's say 23 years.
For how long?
Okay, you didn't like that answer. An hour.
There are no timers set.
Wow, that was basically what Siri just did right now. Said there are no timers, George. Life is either finite or infinite. We don't know. There are no timers set. I gave her a month. I gave her years. I gave her an hour. And she kept asking, how long? How long, George? And in the end, when I gave her a time that I thought was appropriate, there are no timers, George. Wow. What you can learn from an Apple Watch, amazing. I'm just blown away at this logic. Kyle says to Shimewaza, I don't know if you're talking about, I should just show you the screen, huh? Pew. I don't know if you're talking about fictionally created stuff to evade copyright infringement, but Japanese often shorten words considerably. The Misudo thing is real, but they probably didn't copy that. They probably didn't copyright that, Misudo. Like Mr. Donuts is called Misudo. Yeah, Shimewaza, they shorten everything. The Japanese people love to shorten it. First kitchen is Fakki. Kentucky Fried Chicken can be Kenta or Kenchiki, depending on location. McDonald's is Mac, or in the Kansai area it's Makudo. And I always make a joke that in the Tohoku area it's Makudabe. The Japanese people love it. like if we're having that discussion, I always do that as like the final. あ、それでね、私青森に住んでたんだけども、向こうではマックだべって言うんですよ。え、本当？ははは。It's not true. Dude, you guys got to see the footage I took earlier when I walked out of my apartment. I'm just gonna tell you. Did you remember when we played that game, White Day? Where we're in the school and we're going down all those dark hallways. There might be one or two lights that are on, like very, very creepy. Well, the hallway I'm on like the 16th floor. The hallway is dark, and the only sign lighting it up is like an exit sign near the elevator. But that alone would be nothing. It's okay, a little bit freaky. But next door, someone's playing violin, like whatever they're playing. I can't do it. But oh my God, did it have the White Day vibe? Like that game that was invented in Korea, right? And then I got translated into Japanese and I played it. It was very, I legitimately got chills walking out of my apartment, and I filmed it all. So good for that. You'll be able to see it eventually when I edit it. But oh my God, really, really fun. Baratna in Space says, I remember in iCarly, they used a pear logo on their phone instead of an apple. Indeed. Shimewaza says, yes, copyright infringement. But it's like free advertising for the company service. Doubt they'd complain unless they were made to look bad. Yeah, but there's another thing about trademark and copyright. You have to absolutely defend your copyright or your trademark, or you could lose the trademark. And sometimes you'll have a trademark that gets lost because it becomes a normal word. Like light beer used to, I think that was like a Coors name. They had a beer called light beer. And then everyone made light beer, and it became like a household name to say light beer. Kyle says, at Shimewaza, that's the YouTuber way of thinking. Technically, by using the name of a product without securing the rights, they are allowed to take down your content for whatever reason they want. Psh. Yeah, Kyle, that's a very YouTube level comment. Oh my God, can I get past this? Hang on. It skipped on me, apparently. Okay. I didn't realize it was a donut shop. You didn't realize it was a donut shop? How'd you not realize? It's called Misty Donuts. The phrase I suggested is only good at an izakaya. Oh, really? The toriaizu is only good for an izakaya? Okay. Because you're going to be there for a while, I guess is what you're saying. For the meantime, right? Yeah, toriaizu means for the meantime. Okay. All right. Is ijo ii desu? No. There is no ijo ii desu. Ever. It's ijo de yoroshii desu ka. Never ijo de ii. Actually, ijo de ii desu ka would be okay, but I don't think they would ever say it. They would say yoroshii desu ka. It's more polite. If you want to say that's all, it's just ijo desu, not ijo ii desu. Ijo means above, the above things that I just said, that's all. Ijo desu, that's it. End of line. Kyle says, I learned about it from the Crank Day music video by Soulja Boy. The Superman logo on his hoodie is censored so they wouldn't run into issues playing the video. Yes. Did you also produce The Mysterious Dirty Girl? I did. Yes, I did. That was the first one. That footage is all me at Shibuya. And then I thought it was so cool to reverse the footage. Yeah, that's the lame one. The best video I made for Guitar Vader was She's So Heavy. That one was a lot of work. Let's see if we can find She's So Heavy. Hang on. I think I think Steve's actually maintaining a YouTube channel for them. I can't remember, even though they've been broken up forever. She's so heavy. Guitar Vader. Oh, there it is. Yep. Give me a second. So this is me. I even bought the fish lens for this particular video, and I didn't understand how to make them not so yellow. That's my bad. If you watch the 3 guys in Japan video, or I think it's called Japan 2004 right now, I'm bringing a green screen to Japan in the beginning in 2004. It's for this video. Oh my God, the quality is so high. Is this just a rip? Like, where is this from? Hang on. Guitar Vader Radio. I guess someone made this because this isn't. And they just ripped my video. I even made this logo. It's their logo, but I recreated it. That's Steve Lady, the American guy. I'm still in business with that guy today in a different business we just formulated a few months back. Ujuan, the guy on the left, super funny guy. He's so great. And Mickey is like the straight man in the group. So I'll tell you, the anime stuff is some royalty-free stuff I bought on DVDs at Yodobashi Camera, of all places, literally the place where I was yesterday. These lines here going up, I did that. I made that to hide imperfections in my green screen. So a lot of the editing actually came about because I was having a real hard time making the green screen look good. We shot this in a live practice studio. I think I paid like $50 for the studio for like an hour, and we just did take after take after take using my you can't see it, but I'm using, actually you can't see it of course because it's the lens. I'm using a fisheye lens that I bought. It was like $100, right? And the very first scene, you can't see it in this really shitty version of the video, but Ujuan is so close to the lens that it fogs up with his breath. It's really a fun shot for me. Actually, it might be right here that it happens, not in the beginning. I did all this animation. This isn't something that I bought. I did the concentric circles. There wasn't things you could really buy very easily. The stuff in the background I bought though, but this remote control, I found it, I cut it out, I did all the spinning, I did these little, this was so much work on a 2004 computer. In that shot, you can see the extent of the green screen. Hang on. Here you can see the edge of the green screen. It was just an oval-shaped green screen. You can see the green screen here. It ends. That's all it was. Like literally in that one back wall. so funny because he kept getting so close to her face. If you look at that last shot, I just remind that moment is like her going, like "Chikasugiri," or she said something I don't remember, but she was just like they would just bust out laughing because he was hamming it up so much. Ujuan, I love Ujuan. Like you see that? Look at her eyes. Because I was like, look into the camera, don't close your eyes. So she would look, holding her eyes open, and then it would be so long for her that she would like shut them. And I don't even, I'm so close to her face. I'm like uber close to her face. Dude, I think, hang on, what was that shot? You can see the whole room in a second. Part of it, at least. The doorway. Yeah, like... Who's that girl? That might be like Steve's girlfriend or something. You know what's crazy, too? Oh, that actually might be Ujuan waiting out. No, because that was her in the scene. I don't know who that is. Definitely some girl that I'm not aware of. There's one more video that I'm really proud of. Why is Magical Girl auto-populating? That's my worst video. I also have a Super Brothers video, but that one gets copyright strict, so I can't show it to you. Yeah, this one right here. Oh, Steve Lady. See, he's put it up. Me and Steve shot this and edited it. It's one of my favorite. But there's also, what is it? Not Mysterious Dirty Girl. It was, shoot. Not Satisfy. Oh, man, I can't remember right now. It goes, oh, it's Happy East. Happy East is yeah, this video right here. This is like another green screen one. But we went to like different locations and we went to the beach and I had all these like concepts I was putting in this video. Very happy with this video. Again, another person stealing my content. I did the blinking and everything. This is a much better copy though. I think I even wrote these names. Now, the beach is actually in Aomori, so they didn't go there. This is me just shooting random stuff at the beach, and then I used it in the green screen shot. This area here is in Chiba. That TV was just sitting on Sodai Gomi Day. Someone threw out this TV and I was like, that's perfect. Let's put it in the shot. He's wearing an Umibachi shirt, which is another band that we used to sell. And they were doing a live together probably a few nights before this, which we also recorded. And Umibachi was also a fantastic band. We just never made a video for them. We were solely at this stage of the Japan Files career. We just absolutely loved Guitar Vader. They were everything for us. I'm very happy with this shot. Dude, that's the best thing that happened. These old people just walked right by at the exact perfect time, and I had the green screen shot, of course, in front of it. But watch how that happens. Oh my God, I love that shot. I remember when I was making this video was everything I said sounded like I knew what I was doing, but it was just like, oh no, it'd be cool if you guys like walked into this shot as she's singing, and that looks so good right now. Like, how good did that look? I don't know. Is it just me? This is a 2004 video, like an indie video. That's Suzuki. Wait, what? What? They just cut out the buy the music on Japan Files or something like that. Lame. It's funny because they'll say like this comment right here. It's so funny that the keyboardist from this band is still active on YouTube. He was never the official keyboardist. He was doing live shows with them, and they make all the music themselves. He was like a fan first, and then they just like, oh, you play keyboard? Be with us in live shows. Because even the drummer wasn't like an official member. He was just there for videos and live streams, right? Not live streams, but live shows. But yeah, it's just interesting. A lot of bands can't maintain, members, especially a drummer. Drummers are super hard to maintain, if I remember correctly. Sorry, I gotta find out where my camera went. All right, memory lane. Let's see here. Where were we? Steve's brother Mark was also in the Mr. Moonlight video for Morning Musume. Yes, he was. I can't show you that. He was also on a video where he talked about it. Literally, I think it was like it was a Georgian Keiko, or it was a Morning Musume special or something I did, and he talked about meeting them. He was doing, he eventually did a lot of big band stuff, but he had a friend that was in a big band thing, and he's like, hey, there's a video that they want us to be in. Can you come do it? Or he was already in the band or something like that, traveling through Japan or living in Japan. I don't remember. I think he was living in Japan. And yeah, he got to meet like Kago Ai. He's like, he remembers like Kago Ai said like to him, like, "Doste gaijin ga iru no?" And, it was just like super fun. She was like right up in his face, like, "Doste gaijin ga iru no?" The way he tells the story is a little bit better, but. All right, Rucker 913, you don't have to remind me about the Guitar Vader stuff, but oh yeah, no, in a month you'll have to, because I got videos that I could show you is there as well. Polyglot George, oh no, that's me. I was like, Polyglot George said, that's me, god dang it. Melanie says, missed half the stream, baby needed to sleep. Thank you for the info. Am I into Inoue, whoever Mizu? No, because I can't even read the name. Shimewaza says, Siri is so deep. That was a very serious message from Siri for sure about life and There are no timers, and I'm gonna always remember that. Stephen Green says, what's the difference between itsumo and itsudemo? Itsumo means always. Itsudemo means anytime. Like, hey, you're always welcome here, right? It's itsudemo at that point. Like, you're always at any time welcome here. That's the big difference. Itsumo is like this constant thing. You would never say itsumo asobi ni kite kudasai. That would mean always come and hang out. It's itsudemo asobi ni kite kudasai. Come and hang out anytime. Fucking definitely takes the cake. Shimewaza-san talking about First Kitchen. Ken Tanaka, oh my God, yes, I do remember. Is he still around? Ken Tanaka, Everybody Loves You. He was the first guy to do all of that real super gaijin stuff, I think. Help me find my parents. Yes.
The name's T.
Whoa, he's got new stuff. What is this? 7 years ago. Okay, I haven't seen this. This guy's actually kind of funny. Right button? Yes.
Grizzly. I'm a homicide detective. Get in there. Doesn't mean I actually detect homicides.
All right. I can't really watch that, can I? But if you've seen this video, that's his production. The one where like, oh, I love Tokyo or whatever. Yeah. Watch this video. It's like it's a masterpiece that he's done. He also used to be in a commercial for what happened to this guy? Where has he gone? Actually, no, you know what? He might not have been in a commercial. That was probably a parody, and I just now realized it. Yep. It was the Can You Hear Me Now? Oh, yeah. 6 years ago was his last video. What happened to Ken Tanaka? The whole thing was he was acting like he was an American that got adopted. So he'd be like, my name... Here, we'll do it justice. Hello. My name is George Tanaka, and I am a Japanese. I was born in Japan, but my birth parents are American. I am looking for my parents. Can you help me find my parents? Thank you. I love you very much. I think that was kind of how it went. It was pretty funny. Let's see if we can't find one of those. A lot of these are singing stuff. I feel like he... Did he stop making those videos and then remove them? I do not know.
こんにちは。島根県の田中健です。千葉県
What? He's in Shimane?
の竹雄で
Or he
す。
was. He's probably still there. Yeah, I'm not going to play a song. Yeah, he doesn't do the... I am a Ken Tanaka.
こんにちは。田中健です。Hello YouTube, it's me.
He's got the greatest face for this sort of thing.
発音の練習とかを一緒にしてます。ねえ、デビッド君。そうです。私の発音がとっても上手になるんですよ。とっても素敵。日本語が上手ですね、本当に。
Wow, did he just originate that joke? How many years ago is this? 9 years ago? Seriously, it's worth a watch. This channel is pretty funny. I'd like to meet that guy. That's a guy I would collab with right there, man. Like, what happened to Ken Tanaka? That'd be cool. Did you also used to listen to Kawaii Naoko? Never even heard of that name. Moonlight Kiss is a song you got recommended. Nope, don't know it. Fausto Flores says, I can't wait for the next story time. Well, I have it with me. I just haven't edited it. Edited it. He edited it. Who edited it? I edited it. Edited it. Edited it. Edited it. Edited it. Edited it. Hang on. Edited it. Edited it. Edited it. Edit it. Edit it. Edit it. Edited it. Edited it. Edited it. Who edited it? I edited it. You edited it? Yeah, I edited it. Sorry. I realized a while back how dumb that sounds when you say it. I edited it. Edited it. It's clearly edited by you. Yeah, I told you I edited it. Oh. Ooh, Kyle with a big mistake. Kyle, no, you've made a huge mistake, Kyle. Itsumo equals always. But itsumo demo, what does that even mean? Always but. It doesn't mean anything. It's itsu demo. You obviously just forgot to delete the mo. You copy pasted. I've seen that type of error before. I patented that error. Even that comment was a mistake on purpose to maintain my patent. Shimamada says, yes, that's right. In fact, stereotypical, but totally used in real life. Phrase in izakaya when giving your drink order is toriaizu nama de or toriaizu biru de. So normally though, you know, when you're using toriaizu, it's like, I don't know what I want, but whatever, let's just get this. So Horton AAH92 says, I was playing Jet Set Radio earlier today. What a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think the AI knows what we're doing and you're here because I was going to talk about it. Now, to be fair, I am in the future. So it's possible I already know. I'm in the future, guys. It is already the 13th for me. There's another Mysterious Dirty Girl video. Another one? Different from what I made? Guitar, Vader, mysterious, dirty girl. I didn't know there was another one. All right, let's cut back to this. Well, this is mine right here.
Here's a shot of all the people in Shibuya.
This is where they took it. Apparently, they didn't have the actual video. This is from the very first time I met them. It's even before we had Japan Files. It was just yesjapan.com. It's so hard to watch the low quality. Okay, so there's another video. Yeah, this is also from that same night. I'm the only one here filming this. This was before Steve was in Japan with me. I subtitled this. Come on, this is George and Keiko titles. He says, the next thing he says, 買わないと自殺しかないから。I should, it's 売れないと. Yep, this is also me. I think this is just a quiz, isn't it? Yeah, this is like a quiz at the end of a video. Wait, what? They were slated to play Fanime? Okay, I was the one that brought all the bands to Fanime. Is that true? I don't remember them not coming because of that. That probably could be it. I bet he wasn't sick either. I bet he was fighting with his girlfriend, which is Mickey. Trust me, man, we wanted to bring them so bad. That era, what did we bring? We brought Mother Coat. We brought, oh my God, what's the name of that band? Poplar. Poplar was so fun. Goofy Style. That's at least 3 that we brought. We brought, was it just 3 or was there another one? I don't remember, but we brought a lot of bands to Fanime. Here's that dumb interview.
Welcome to my first band interview.
Yeah, I can't. It's so funny. I bet people are complaining. Yeah, see, this is terrible and amazing at the same time. Hang on, I gotta change my switch account. Where is it? Here we go.
Welcome to.
I'm gonna respond to that. I formally apologize for the cringe. 3 years later. I'm very quick with these responses. At 225, George has what I dreamed to have in my hand one day. At 525, they hold 2 of my dreams. Those guys rock. 225. What happens at 225? 225. Do I touch Mickey?
Your super brother!
What do I have? Oh, is that the CD?
I'm your brother!
What's at
Your
225?
super brother!
Oh, I'm pointing to a breast. Okay, no, I get it. Yeah, breasts are pretty nice, guys. YouTube, if you're listening, this is not made for children. At 525, they hold 2 of my dreams. Okay, hang on. This guy's funny. 525, here we go.
800円で買えますからこれ
Okay, maybe it was the CD. Okay, it's the CD.
買ってくださいよ
Yeah. Okay, what you don't realize maybe is we shot this in front of this sign on purpose. I chose this location because it says music performances prohibited. I wanted to be that guy. The band was so good. I wish they would do something new, even as solo artists. Yeah, that's true. WTF LOL. Just casually remembered this band existed. Your channel and Steve Ladies are one of the gold mines for GV fans. What's funny is almost everything on this channel, if it's a video, is something I made. Guitar Vader Extra. What is this?
All of this footage was shot at the Q Club in
Wow, this is just me. I could just copyright strike all this stuff, man.
Shimokitazawa before Guitar Vader's live show. You might notice that the keyboard player is none other than Steve Laity. Now tell me how that happened.
Yeah, I've got lights mounted on her. She's complaining that well, not complaining, but saying it's bright.
でも映りがすごくいい
This camera, I know it looks like shit now, but this is also a very like ripped off of like a Windows media file probably. This camera was a Panasonic 3C CD camera. It was so good for the time. It was an amazing camera. I mean, it looked like broadcast TV.
これねちょっとよくできるこうやってでもその分ちょっと明るくなくなる柔らかく
Ignore the lyrics, guys. Satisfies one of their best songs. Yeah, I shot this solo. Normally it would be Steve on one side, but yeah, Steve was always playing. Oh yeah, so Steve couldn't have shot any of this with me. He did it for all the other videos. What's next on this Guitar Vader?
Welcome to my first band interview here.
Oh god dang it, what happened? Yep, it's another one. I used to put these as bonus in the George and Keiko videos. I don't think that's my graphic though. This brings back crazy memories, dude. This was one of my favorite eras for me. I just wish it could have made money. Wait, who is that? Whose camera is that? Oh, that's Shane. That's Shane. Shane Dunkel. He's got my second camera. That's who's filming the other stuff. I couldn't remember who was filming. That's Shane. Yep. I had 2 of those cameras. I had told the whole story about buying those cameras from the Korean Mafia. So those were really good cameras. Shane's that guy, if you're like a huge fan of me, you've seen the George versus Chie show. He went with us to Valley of Fire. I mean, seriously though, Steve is the only keyboardist you'll ever see, even though they programmed all this stuff. He played it there, but Ujiwan and Mickey would like write all the music. And they had another album that was going to come out. They broke up before that album came out. And I remember saying, dude, is there any way we could release that even though you're breaking up? And there's no way. And Ujiwan at the time, he was working as a, he was a guy that went and checked water meters. That was his job. He never made enough money as a musician. And he made barely no money from that jet set radio. And the company that owned it, I cannot remember the name anymore. I think it was UK Records was the company that owned all of the copyright. They would not let us license it for any amount of money. Okay, let me take that back. I didn't offer them any kind of a money. I just offered them, hey, could you let us license this? And they wouldn't let us because I wanted Super Brothers and all of that. That was the good stuff. But Sony, I think, owned UK Records, so it was like impossible. Ujiwan having his bass up that high, just like McCartney, just goes to show you how influenced they were by the Beatles. Yeah, they were a great band. Wait, maybe this is... Oh yeah, this is Steve's channel. Me and Steve also produced the Ore Takakoi original video. And then he made other ones. I wonder if we kept them up here. Nope. Nope. Oh, he's got Lynn Clover, Shuon no Toke. Oh, Mother. Oh, this is such a good... This band, oh my God. Mother... I don't want to get into like Japan Files again, but Mother Coat was such a good band. This song is such... It's 8 minutes long, so we're not going to watch it, but it's such a good watch. I did all these graphics too. This is Steve's camera, and I'm this side. Or this side. And then we have one stable middle camera. This guy, we took these guys to Fanime. This guy's absolutely probably on drugs level crazy. I don't know. I still to this day have not figured out how he did it. At Fanime, they had a railing, okay? He ran across the railing, this like curved railing. I think he had socks on. I don't know how he did it in the middle of the show. I wish there was footage of it. I bet someone could find it. Anyway, I could watch this forever. You know, if you're in Japan now, 100% go find some live bands. There's amazing bands in Japan. Amazing bands. He put that up 7 months ago. Crazy. Oh, Limited Express. They were crazy. I made this video too. This video, even more advanced than the Guitar Vader video. This is my creme de la creme, the best video I ever made right here for a music video. That's actually my voice too, doing the... That's me. It doesn't sound good, but hey, it's all I had to work with back then. The name of this band is Yonbun no Ichi, which means 1/4. Japanese put the denominator first. So it's Yonbun, 4 parts of 1, Yonbun no Ichi. So that's why every shot that I take outside has 4-1 in it. So I'm shooting a lot of 4-1s. And the concept for the video was I shot them, this is all, by the way, shot the same time as the Guitar Vader stuff in another rental studio. And I put them on green screen, and then I put like them in all these historical places is what I did. And then every other shot that's like motion would be with the 4-1. And the card I was using was a Matrox card, which was like super expensive back in the day. I think it was like $1,000 or something like that. It might have been more, but it allowed me to do stuff like single color for the entire scene. It was super powerful for its time. That's the station right where Steve used to live. I just went around and shot random shots. You see, I was able to like isolate the red and just keep it red. Kind of cool, right? So he's actually a boxer. I don't know if he kept it up. So I said, let's get some of the boxing in to show them like who you are for real. That's just Akihabara, I think. The Kennedy assassination. The moon launch. These shots took, I don't know, like an hour or more to render. They were crazy to render. God, that was not an appropriate Twin Towers. Wow. But wow, okay. Sorry for the timing on that, guys. But it's punk rock. I mean, he's saying, I will fuck with punk rock. So I guess you have to just accept that was what was in my brain. Like, they're punk, man. Anything goes with punk. Yep. Did not remember that was in there. All right. I think that's did everything shift? It did, didn't it? All right, we're all right. Okay, my gosh, I went off the boat here. Yeah, you thought it was going to be a cover of a Beatles song, huh? Yes, it was not. Impressive for that year. Well, thank you. How long did everything skipped again? How long did it take for me to produce it? I don't know which one we're talking about, but those videos took months, man, of just me fiddling around and trying to make it perfect. Beratna in Space says, George, we know there were so many close-up shots because of your interest in the epicanthic fold. You're not wrong, because even when I was watching that video, I was like, she has a really nice epicanthic fold. It sounds like I'm saying that to be funny right now. I literally was like, but she has nice eyes. Kyle says, not gonna lie, Japan story time is killer. I hadn't watched them prior, but it's a solid way of explaining natural language and the thought process of learning in real life. Yep. That's the goal. Did she say Kumo? She said Kumo. It's Uzumaki Kumo. It's a type of cloud, like a spiral cloud. Uzumaki Kumo. Oh, pitch accent deniers checkmate. All right, I missed the joke. B. Parker says, yes, GK35, Morning Musume, Gaijin in Japan. Let's see. If you guys don't know who B. Parker is, because he wrote that, I'm sure he's the right guy. He bought all the George and Keiko cards. He bid on them. To this day, I can't believe anyone was willing to pay $700 for those cards, but this guy did. Thank you for that. It's a fun memory for me. Shimawaza says, Ken Tanaka is actually a moderately successful actor. He's been in stuff you've seen before. Okay, he is. Yeah, I knew I had seen him somewhere before, and I was aware that he was an actor. Of course, Ken Tanaka isn't his real name. Of course not. David Uri, that's his real name. Okay. Do I still get royalties from the music? No, I didn't make the music. They don't even get royalties for it. Yes, Ujiwan was dating Mickey. They were boyfriend and girlfriend, and the reason the band broke up was they broke up. That was it. Yeah, they wrote the music together, Ujiwan and Mickey. They sang together. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. Then they broke up. I think Steve said he got this video from them before ever playing with them. Yep. I shot that first video at the shelter. That was like 2004. Steve was like, okay, this is where you gotta go. It's called the shelter. Just go in. Just talk to them. Like, okay. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, that was my first time ever shooting anything like that. Fausto Flores says, I'm traveling to Japan in October. Any places you recommend to visit? I'm only there for a week. Oh my God, that's too much pressure, man. I don't want to recommend something and you don't like it. Do you have a rail pass? You know, if you have one, I don't want to have you spend all of your time traveling. Like, I love Akihabara. I love Namba in, the Dotonbori area of Osaka. Absolutely love that area. I love Fukuoka. I mean, honestly, you could do a lot in Tokyo. Let me just say that. June with a Japanese question. Hi, George. I wanted to ask if futsu and taite can be used interchangeably, or if there is a difference in their nuance. Futsu means normally. Taite is more like most of the time. That's my back of the bus answer. I don't think I ever say taite, but that's what it means. Somewhere someone has made a chart showing what's the, always, normally, every now and then, occasionally. Oof. Sorry about that. Well, futsu means normal, right? I'm just reading what Brad wrote. But futsu means normal. Futsuni makes it normally, right? Like you're saying. Then it's an adverb. Right? Futsu desu means he's normal. George wa futsu desu, or George wa futsu janai desu. George isn't normal. But you could never say George wa taite desu. You couldn't say that. Taite shows, this is the key difference, right? Futsu means normal. Taite means, wow, getting a call. I can't answer it right now. Hey, I'll just answer. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, George. How are you today?
Doing good. I'm doing a live stream right now if you want to watch it. You're on it right now. You probably can't watch it, though, I'm guessing. I'm in Japan on a live stream. So if you go to the Polyglot George channel, you'll see it. And then I can talk to you after I'm done.
Yeah. Hello, live stream.
Oh, are you there? Oh, yeah. She said hello. Yes. I have you up to the mic. Hopefully they can hear you.
I'm not there. Just saying hi.
I know you're not there. They can see my watch. Yeah. All right, well, I'll call you after if that's cool.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, peace.
Bye.
She's calling because I sent her a video about this church. I can't remember where it was, Texas probably, but they had this church and this big Muslim church. They were going to build like a Muslim temple. I don't know what they call it. I forget what they call it. Right across the way from them. And the guy was upset. He's like, what do I do? And he looked in the Bible for the answer and realized, oh, I have to be gracious or something like that, you know? And then they start interviewing different people from the church and they, you know, the members were like all awesome. They're like, I don't know, man. I was angry to be fair, but then I read the gospel and I realized I was the problem. I'm like, oh my God, yes. If you guys in religion would just follow the doctrine in your own religion, you'd be way better human beings. Treat others as you want to be treated or whatever that one is. Judge not yet, ye shall be judged. Like seriously, stop judging people and the world will be a better place. Anyway, futsu can be used just to say something is normal, but it can also be like he was saying, futsu ni makes it always and it makes it into an adverb. Shimewaza, of course, as always, has the answer for what should I do in Japan. If you're planning to visit places in various parts of Japan, buy a 1-week Japan Rail Pass. See, he's always right where I am. Before the end of the month, price goes up like 80% after that, which really sucks. If he's only got a week, though, maybe he doesn't need the pass, to be fair. And also, he might be in one area where you could just use a limited pass. But if he just stays in Tokyo, it's like a couple hundred yen each time you ride. It's not worth the pass at that point. All right, I'm missing some. How do you say more? How do you say more as in asking for more of something? このお寿司めっちゃうまい。もっと食べたい。もっともっと。You could say もっとください. Give me some more. もっと means more, but if you're asking for another drink, I would use something like, you guys are good, もう一つ. Or もう一杯, another glass. もう一本, another bottle. All right. George, there's a small mistake in the subtitles in the first Kansai dialect video at 426. It says TWO instead of TO. Wow. Crazy. That's such a long time ago. That's all Mike's fault though, so I hereby fire him as my video editor. もう少しもらってもいいですか? Can I get just a little bit more? もう少し. No, I don't think that was Mech's rules. I don't think that was Mech's rules. Kyle says, I wish I liked Korean more. Having an easily readable language sounds so much easier. It is. Japanese rock sounds great. Generally, they're more funk-based. Well, those guys maybe were. How do I plan out what the music video is going to be? I don't know. I don't remember at this point. But, so, it's with anything, right? I'm a super creative guy, right? We all know I've created a bunch of things, right? The videos, that's 2004. I've written novels, short stories, the stuff on the Tissue Box channel. I just have not been successful with my creative stuff. My most successful stuff is not creative, but how do I come up with an idea? It's just like I come up with an idea. I have like an idea. Now, a lot of times I get an idea from a dream, and then I'll take that nugget from the dream and I'll expand it. For example, I'm writing a novel called The Peach of Portland. And in that novel, the whole start of that novel was I had a dream where a guy was at his company and he said something in the dream like, I wish someone would just come in and shoot us all. And I was like, that's a cool, so I'll read part of that. Cause we're in that mood. I'm in that mood right now. And I don't remember how I opened the book, and it's got Japanese in it. So it works for Japanese Daily. So give me a second. I don't think I've ever made any of this particular one public. Let's see, novels. Yep, there it is. I'm not going to show this one though. Yeah, the original book was called Carl's Magic Wand. It's still the file named that, but it's now called my working title right now is at least Peach of Portland. All right, here we're going to turn off the music. Story time, ready? I'm not going to show you the text. I'm just going to read. Chapter 1, Peach. It was surprising to Peach how long and how much you can get away with doing horrible things when you're attractive or rich or both. Peach was both. But Peach wasn't always rich nor considered particularly attractive. In the same way Superman gained superpowers when he crashed on Earth from Krypton, when Peach arrived in Portland from Nagoya, she gained unique superpowers not available for her in her native Japan. Her girlish looks garnered much favor from men who wanted to fuck her, and from women who wanted to protect her. And for most others, the wealth that favor had earned, and for most others, the wealth that favor had earned her, she gained respect. I don't know if I like that sentence. And for most others, the wealth that favor had earned her, she gained. Okay, that sentence is broken. But there were certain people who were immune to her new powers. To her, they were kryptonite. It made her feel like her father made her feel. And that was a feeling Peach didn't like, not even one bit. Peach opened her phone's notebook and to a list labeled trash in Japanese. The first 5 names on the list, also written in Japanese, had lines striking through them and a single happy face emoji after. She entered a new line and typed Gina, which is English for Gina. I wrote it in katakana. Chapter 2, Fuck Gina. Carl sat this was the original idea, right? Carl sat at his desk, hoping a disgruntled customer would bust through his door and do him the favor of ending it all. Maybe start with that insufferable prick Gina, whose main goal in life seemed to do the exact opposite of what actually made sense. Peach poked her head into Carl's office, knocking as she walked in without waiting for permission to enter. Peach was the one person at Waterfall Automotive that Carl would want to survive his apocalyptic fantasy. Now, Peach speaks in Japanese before she says everything in English. But it doesn't mean that her Japanese matches the English. That's the twist of this story, right? Mata mousou shiteru no kana? Actually, that was probably a... No, it was no ka. Mata mousou shiteru no ka? She's really rough in her Japanese. Daydreaming about Gunter again? I guess that's how she said it. Gunter was the name Carl had given the imaginary disgruntled employee that resided deep in his coffee-soaked sponge every time everyone assumed was a brain. Oh my God, sorry. Gunter was the name Carl had given the imaginary disgruntled customer that resided deep in his coffee-soaked sponge everyone assumed was a brain. I never should have told you about Gunter. He likes his privacy, you know. Peach, named after the princess in Super Mario, sat in the square leather chair in front of Carl's brown metal desk. Her body displaced the stagnant air of Carl's 8-foot by 10-foot dungeon of an office that had settled in the valley of the chair. Her body, okay, I gotta rewrite that sentence. Her body had settled in the chair. No, the stagnant air that had settled in the chair, that's what happened. Okay. Carl's overly sensitive nose sensed the floral fragrance of Peach's freshly washed hair. It was a welcome replacement for the overwhelming odor of whiteboard markers Gina's witch hands used to draw circles around disappointing sales numbers as if any of it mattered. Peach gently tapped her nails on Carl's desk, saving him from Gina's painted-on eyebrows going up and down like a child's depiction of a flying bird on the sky of her overly foundationed collection of face holes. I might have to rewrite that too. Then she says, "Ore, Gunta ga suki nanda. I like Gunta," Peach said. He's a man of action. Although I don't approve of his violent action. I imagine if he wasn't so angry all the time, he would be very productive. Carl rolled his eyes of the thought. Don't ruin Gunter by making him part of the productivity at all costs society. That's what's created all my problems, Peach laughed. Gunter nara dekiru no ni ne. I want to meet Gunter. I probably should drop the English accent because actually her English is really good. I bet he's just misunderstood. She dropped her voice into a more serious tone. What if you found out he was just angry because the car brakes of a car we sold him were defective and he was distraught because his beloved wife died in a crash? If the end result was the same, he could have any reason at all, Carl said as he clicked on his Omni scheduler. Anyway, stop right there. The fun part for me for writing this particular book, which now has this, oh wait, I thought this had 17,000 words. Why is it only 4,600? This might be an older version of it. Or not. It's only got 4,600 words. Anyway, what's fun about this book for me is I made it in the same world as the first novel that I wrote. It's just a whole different story, completely devoid of any connection to the other novel. So to answer your question, where does creativity come from for me? Sometimes dreams. Sometimes I just get a thought in my head. I write it down or I record it into my phone, and then later I write something about it. If I'm depressed, I might write something about that depression. If I am talking about the end of the world, I might write something about that. But you know what I hate? I hate this table. I need to put something underneath this table. I hate when people that have not succeeded in an area talk about it as if they've succeeded. That's what I'm doing with the novel stuff. I have not succeeded, so please maybe don't listen to any of the information I have about creativity, because I literally have not succeeded in the creativity side. It's like, I was thinking of it like a 16-year-old saying, you know, the thing about love is that when you've lived as long as me, I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're 16, girl. You don't know about love. Come back to me when you're like 40 or 80. Of course, you were asking about how do I plan out what the music video is going to be. It's just an idea at the time, and then I run with it. And then that idea leads to other ideas. The thing is, if you start down an idea path, you will find other ideas along that path, and then you just run them. And a lot of ideas won't work, so you overshoot, and then you just use what you want. Hang on, I feel like this moved again. Yep, see? I don't like it when it does that. It's completely screwed. My whole thing is screwed for the end of the video. How am I going to do it? Well, we'll have to deal with it. It is what it is. That's what we got, guys. This table's jacked up. Yes, the Sex Pistols was a big influence on Yon Benucci. When talking about yourself, do you say things in the te form? I said, I don't know what that is. Somethingを置いて. You guys know too much kanji, damn it. 写真を撮って配達した. Yes, you absolutely do that. Yes, te form shows I did this and I did this and I did this. 100%. Is that like rapping something? But I don't know. The sentence is wrong for that. Hang on. Looking it up. Looks like awa, but I don't think it is. Parcel. Okay. Kotsutsumi. Kozutsumi. Parcel or package. Okay. I don't know that word. Tsutsumi means to wrap it, but I don't know kotsuzumi as a word. I dropped off the package, right? I took a photo, and then I delivered it. But you wouldn't say haitatsushita. You'd say probably todoketa. It's probably just a choice of verbs that might be wrong. The te forms are perfectly fine. Placed the package, took the picture, delivered, delivery completed. Placed the package, took the picture, delivery completed. I mean, I don't know why you're not adding ands in there. You could add ands in there. Isolate the red is the Pleasantville effect, named after the movie of the same name. Shimewaza, you guys are just having your own conversations. I don't know why you need me. I'm just going to start ignoring those. Dotonbori, Nara, Shibuya, Akihabara, Yokohama is cool too, says Kyle. Kyle Spevik says, follow the doctrine of your own religion. Too bad most people treat religion and politics like sports. It's their team belief a lot more. All right, I'm going to try to get through a few of these, and I'm going to end on something, and then we'll finish this off. Kyle says, I wish my dreams were more like that. Usually it's random blips and stuff. No, that's what my dreams are too. And I take that blip and make it into a story. So many things I've done that on the Tissue Box channel, and stuff that's in my phone. Like I would just like, oh my God, wait, everyone shut up. Like when I wake up in the morning, it's like, shut up. And I just write. I write. You have to do it when it's fresh. Melanie says, Christianity doesn't make sense. Okay, well, you can't have that discussion. The Bible's a yes. Let's get back into there. I agree. You can easily disprove Christianity just using the Bible, in my opinion. Kyle says, that's an interesting twist. Never thought of using 2 languages as a storytelling tool. Well, it's something I wanted to do for a while. That's why I'm doing it in the Adventure Time, Japan Story Time. Shimewaza says, dreams can have so many creative parts in them. Supposedly, the discoverer of the benzene ring first saw the structures in a dream. Mine are like dolly paintings and make almost no sense. Kyle says, George, read the words of his story into the microphone during the live stream. His words crisp. George read the words of his story into the microphone during the live stream. His words crisp, similar to ASMR. Though he had written it expertly, many small errors began to stick out to him. Feeling self-conscious, he wrapped it up by going back to the question he was asked. All of a sudden, George began phasing in and out of existence inside his Korean hotel. First it was the light, then it was the sound. And within just a matter of 2 seconds, the entire temperature of the room had dropped by 20 degrees. George shivered, thinking, what the fuck? All right, I could have kept going, but I don't have any solid ideas yet. I'd have to keep, I'm guessing the building just disappears. Melanie says, I saw an interview yesterday with the actress Millie Bobby Brown, 11 from Stranger Things. She just published a book. She's 19. It's called 19 Steps. James Earl Jones on the mic. That voice is epic. It was a dark time. A time darker than all times before. The inverse, the perfect inverse of light. Here. Yeah. Just because we're all friends hanging out and I'm in the mood, let's just see if there's something I've written. Oh, there's a good one I wrote, but I never made it. Now that I've got AI, though, I should probably do things. Here, I'm just going to read, just literally. Dimensions Paradise. That one sounds like a cool sci-fi story, but no, that's just the dimensions of something at a house that I have that is on Paradise, a street with paradise in it. Okay. Okay. Here's a name for a story that I want to write. Yuki's Adventures Downstairs. It's just what happens when a cat that isn't allowed to go downstairs goes downstairs. That's a story that I just had an idea for it. Oh, I wrote this one. This is All the King's Puppets. For this brief moment of clarity, I can see all the strings. Everyone connected to a master operator controlling every motion. Voices emanating from beyond the soulless bundle of material masquerading as living, independent thinking beings. Not just one, but hundreds, acting out scenes amongst themselves in groups of 2 or more, no longer separated by the walls of building or the dampening of distance. I actually think I recorded that one already, but I don't think I released it. It's called All the King's Puppets. That's a fun story. That was also started from a dream, where I was in my dream and I just saw people being controlled by string puppets. And in that snippet, a guy notices it. Spirits and ghosts don't have a color or national identity. This is something I wrote. I didn't do anything with it, though. Neither does one trying to survive on this planet, whether they be in China, Nigeria, France, or Samoa. Sure, they have a language possibly different than yours in their head, but their instinct to survive is the same in any tongue. We shouldn't have to wait until death or disaster to see that we are all one in the tethered to the ground, all one, tethered to the ground on this rock, with the same gravity regardless of the shade of our outer shell or which deity we believe or don't believe. If your eyes couldn't see, your ears couldn't hear, and you weren't aware from where another's life journey began, would hate still be possible? Of course, there are always outliers. People who are blinded by ideology and tribal identity. People who are blinded by ideology or tribal identity, but put that person alone. Okay, wait. I gotta reword that. But put that person alone in a desert and see how much value those concepts have compared to a stream of drinkable water. The color or origin of a monster hiding in the dark makes them no less dangerous. And there isn't a method of classification that can separate kindness into race, gender, or identity. I invite you to open up a different set of eyes, one that judges based on the deeds of the one inside the courtroom of your head and nothing else. Sounds like a Martin Luther King thing to say. That last part. Universe squared. Okay. Secret Rebirth. What is this? Oh, I remember this. This is the other novel that I think might have 17,000. I'm not sure. It opens like this. These people have nothing to live for, so they fill the meanings. I hate when this is exactly how it sounds when I record things. These people have nothing to live for, so they fill the meaningless husks of their lives with conspiracy. Well, they were at least thorough. Oh wait, no, that was not the female voice. Well, oh, actually no, that was a female voice to start. Oh, sorry, I forgot who was reading what. These people have nothing to live for, so they fill the meaningless husks of their lives with conspiracy. Well, they were at least thorough, Derek said, tossing a charred thruster controller into the still smoldering pile of decoy parts. Janice kept snapping photos. Did you find the journal? Not yet, but unless they burned it, I think it's safe to say they took the bait. Done with that one. That goes longer, but I think I already read that at one point. Here's a story I wrote about a sloth, because we bought a sloth stuffed animal at a store on the way to California, and then I wasn't driving, so I just wrote a whole story. It's a whole story about a sloth named Moth or Broth, I don't remember. It's just ridiculous. And I just wrote, and as I wrote it, I just kept adding. Let's see here, what else? And then I'll record things too. The recorded ones are more dangerous because I don't know what's actually written on them. Here's Japan Story Time. This is something that says Japan Story Time.
Japan Storytime note. As Jeff.
Oops. I don't want to spoil it. Sorry. That is me making sure I keep my notes together for what I had decided. Here's other parts of a novel that I can't review. I don't know what this. Here's June 6th.
There's been a lot of study and recent talk about work-life balance. That same needs to be said about work-study. I meant to say life-study balance. And I'm going to directly relay this to learning a language. Do you really want to do drills all day long? Does that make you come to hate the language that you're supposed to love?
That's another early morning thought. that I just recorded. Here's stuff from 2022.
So we've determined that scientists can, not scientists, but whoever the heck, by changing the sequences, they can modify their dream. But they can.
Even I don't know what I'm talking about here. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
Dreams can be recorded, not recorded per se, but during the through brain monitoring, they can look for.
This is another novel idea. That novel idea is basically, I don't remember. Obviously, I had that early in the morning or right when I woke up, but basically, a father, I'll tell you because I probably won't end up writing it, but a father, he works for a large corporation. They always have to, right? But he's like a scientist. He's like an actual, like, theoretical type scientist, right? His job has nothing to do with what he's working at home, but what he works at home is trying to understand what's going on with his son, who's a nonverbal autistic. So his son is nonverbal autistic, so that led him to study the brain. So he takes like these principles of science that he understands and he studies the brain. And his son starts having this recurring nightmare. And the father doesn't know how to help him. Nobody knows how to help his son because they don't understand what he's saying. So the father decides he's gonna start looking at the cause of these nightmares and see if he can't like just affect the cause. And as he starts recording at night, he attaches his son up to monitors, and whenever he has that dream, he goes in and analyzes that data from that dream. And then as he's doing that, I haven't worked out the details, but basically one night he gets a cable plugged in backwards, and instead of just recording a signal, it sends a small something wave to his son and affects the outcome is different that day. And he doesn't know why. Like, why is the dream different from this exact time period with this spike of whatever happened and you have to write this. This is the base idea, right? Because then you go in and as you're writing it, it changes a little bit. But basically something happens where he affects the dream. And then he realizes, wait a minute, I'm trying to understand the dream. Maybe I can change the dream. So he starts figuring out a way to change the dream. I don't know how to make these jumps of logic, but basically over, the months that he's playing around with this, he finally succeeds in seeing part of the dream. And then he realizes with the way that he had manipulated his son's brain on accident, he realizes he can manipulate the dream, but then he realizes with that same information, he can also join him in his dream, which is exactly how he could help his son. So he hooks himself up at night, puts the computer on a sequence, and then as he's sleeping, they both enter this dream and he can see his son. And in his dream, his son is verbal. Like he's living in a paradise, not in his dream, but in his head, he's relatively normal. They can have conversation. I don't know what that spurs, what fun you have with that, or what crazy things happen with that. But the wife hates that he's doing experiments. And she's not willing to listen to anything he has to say. She's just bitter over the whole, she didn't want the kid anyway. She wanted an abortion. Whatever we're going to do to make her evil, she's going to be kind of evil. And that way you're not going to like her. And one particular night, oh my God, I'm so sorry, this table. One particular night, this is the inciting incident, I guess. They're having a big argument. She leaves the door open. The cat comes in and he's like, I told you, get the cat out of here, and whatever. They have an argument, and the cat, later on, either that night or another night, she does it again, but this time he doesn't notice the cat's there, and the cat's gonna cause a problem. The cat's gonna somehow, I haven't figured out how I'm gonna make this happen, but the cat's gonna also sink into the dream. And in the dream, the cat's gonna die. They're all in the dream, and the cat dies in the dream. But when they awake, the cat's alive. So that's how he learns, I guess, that you can die in the dream but not actually die. But long story short, the current ending I had for if I was going to write that story, and I still might because it's kind of a fun story to write, is they're gonna run away. He realizes eventually that these aren't dreams; they're literally going to another world. This is just tapping into that other multiverse. I love multiverse stuff, so that's why I was doing this one. That's why I liked it so much. And they're gonna basically, I haven't figured out what happens. Maybe the wife wants a divorce and she's gonna take custody of the child because he's experimenting on the son and that's not ethical. And she gives him, that helps her in court. I don't know what's going on in the B side of this story because this is the A side of the story, right? The two opposing, parts of the story. But yeah. Eventually, they're going to live happy ever after. I don't know. Oh, I know what it was. It might be that the cat dies on the outside. The cat gets electrocuted or something on the outside from the device, but he realizes that the cat is alive in the dimension, in the dream. And that's when he realizes it's not just a dream, it's something else. That's what it was. I don't have a name for that, but. You should redo your message from the creator video. Where do I have a message from the creator video? I'm not even aware of that. Why is this constantly moving? All right. Hey, Georgie. Hope all is well. Everything is well. Is it from the cat's perspective? I don't know. You can train an AI with your voice, then make it speak your stories. Yes, I know. But I haven't found an AI that does it well yet with good inflection. I can do it with decrypt, but it's or descript. It's not so good yet, though. You weren't aware of where the underwear was. Nice, it's Kyle. Sounds like something a pastor would say. You weren't aware of where the underwear was. Sloth and moth sipping a broth. No, actually, his name is Broth. Believe it or not. Hang on, I think I have that one. I'll just play it. It's already recorded. Here's one called Dying Gift. What is this? I'll have to look at that. Ghost in Tom. I don't know what that is. These are all in my novels folder. Spooky Action. Ah, yeah, that's the bigger one. Peach of Portland. Here's Peach of Portland. Misaki image picture nude front. I probably should show my camera, sorry. I must have found a girl that, yep. I can't show you this. I found a nude of a Japanese girl and I made that what the character Misaki was going to look like. There's another character named Misaki. Where is, all right, I'm getting ready to end this thing, guys. I'm sorry. I'm bored, so we're doing it. Broth the Sloth. There we go. Recording. Here we go. Here it is, guys. Every other sloth that Broth, who himself was a sloth, had met, had a name that rhymed with sloth. Even his little sister, who was still in school, was named Moth. And believe it or not, his older brother, a tree root doctor, was named Sloth. Just now, Broth heard his mother, named Cloth, shout down from the treetop. She said, "I need you to get Moth from school while I make curry sauce." Older brother sloths, like Broth, always had to help younger sister sloths like Moth. This is because Moth, coming home from school all alone, was too hard for a young sloth like Moth. Moth's school was close for you and me, but far for a sloth. Broth would have to leave now in order to pick up Moth so as not to upset his mother Cloth. Broth wasn't the fastest sloth, but he was faster than Moth and his second best friend, Woth. At the bottom of the tree, Broth was happy to see his best friend that was not a sloth, but a bee. The bee's name was Key, and actually all bees that Broth knew had names that rhymed with bee. Key's queen was named C, and the other bees in Key's hive were named Wee, Me, Fee, and Glee. "Hey, what are you doing? Want to pick up Moth with me?" Key answered, "Bzz, bzz, bzz, bzz," which was unfortunate, since Broth really wanted Key to come with. If Broth wasn't a sloth, but a bee like Key, he could already be at Moth's school in 1, 2, 3. But Broth was a sloth, and you might already know that sloths aren't fast, but rather slow. As Broth began slothing to school to pick up Moth, he bumped into a cat named Fat. Fat was always mean to Moth and not as nice as the other cats, Pat, Hat, and Sat. Fat walked around Broth so fast that Broth got dizzy and said, "Meow, meow, 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 meow." Broth agreed with Fat that today was rather windy and then answered Fat's question. "I am. My mother's making curry, and if I'm late, she will worry. So I can't talk now. I must hurry." Fat seemed to understand, but had a proposal. He said, "Meow, meow, 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 meow." Broth thought about it and said, "Okay, but it will have to be after dinner." Fat lowered his body to the ground. Broth climbed on top without a sound. Soon they would be Moth's school bound. Fat said, "Meow, meow," and Broth wrapped his arms around Fat's neck. Then Fat jumped to the left, and to the right he leapt. Normally, to Moth's school, it would have taken Broth an entire hour, but now in front of Fat and him, the tree of the school did tower. Fat yelled, "Meow!" and Broth held on as tight as he should. Fat's powerful back legs launched up the tree as fast as he could. At the top of the tree, Fat let Broth jump off. Then Fat reminded Broth about their promise, followed with a cough. Fat then asked, "Meow, meow, meow?" Broth answered, "No, it's okay. She needs to practice anyway. I'll see you after I eat curry today." While Broth was waiting for Moth, he saw a red bird. It was his old friendly math teacher, Mr. Curd. "Nice to see you, Mr. Curd. Are you here to pick up your daughter Word?" Mr. Curd was happy to see his old student Broth. His daughter Word and his son Herd were friends with both Broth and Moth the sloth. Mr. Curd smiled and said, "Tweet, tweet, chirp, 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 tweet." Broth was embarrassed by such kind words, but his mother taught him to always say thank you to kind words from birds. Mr. Curd wasn't Broth's only bird teacher. There was Mr. Herd, Mrs. Gerd, and one teacher with the unfortunate name of Mr. Turd. Broth met his sister, and together they departed. They climbed down the tree, and for their home they started. To get back home, it took them an hour, but the house was dark when they arrived. No lights, no power. Broth looked at Moth, and Moth looked at Broth. A good brother sloth would go inside before his sloth sister Moth, but Broth acted scared and closed his eyes. He didn't want to ruin Moth's birthday surprise. Moth carefully went inside, her heart beating strong. Broth stayed behind until he heard the song. "Happy birthday to you. We really love you. Now blow out your candles so we can eat food." All of Moth's friends were there. Bat the cat, Pog the dog, and even Hare the bear. After cake and curry were done, Broth got up from where he sat. It was time to keep his promise with Fat the cat. One branch down, waiting patiently, sat Fat. Broth slothed to the branch, and next to him he sat. Fat the cat said, "Meow, meow, nyan, nyan." Broth agreed. Math was hard. But with Broth's help, soon there was an A for math on Fat's report card. That's better than I remember it. Yeah, I should really release that. That's the thing. I don't release things. There's so many things you just do in a day. If you're creative, you'll know you make a lot of things that you never release. All right, cool. Kyle says, "I've got a few notes on my phone for different thoughts. Glad I'm not the only one." Yes. Well, that was it. I think we lost a lot of people during that child book reading. So that's probably a good time for me to say goodbye. But today I'm not going to be able to do the hard rock pumping of my head for music because it really hurt. Okay, give me 1 second. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. I see it. It looks like I have an upcoming. Yeah, I need to kill this upcoming. There's 2 people waiting for this stream. That's not going to happen. Melanie, can you kill that stream on Japanese from Zero? Oh, never mind. I can. No, wait. No, never mind. It's me. God, give me a second. Oh, there's two people. I feel bad because there's two people waiting, and I'm literally already doing a stream. I messed up my naming, and there's no way to edit it once you've already created it. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, how do I get in there? Oh, I have to edit video. Okay. Okay. I'm not deleting the current stream, right? Yes. Okay, good. Delete. Yes. It's gone. It's gone, guys. All right. That's it, guys. Well, anyway, thanks. It looks like there's no more questions as it is because as always, I've stayed a little bit too long. This is 2 hours. I'm trying to get out of here in an hour. That's about the prime time to leave, it looks like, when people are still excited. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Eventually, we'll hit the song.
Well, this fucking